So in my work, I basically say I help people get rid of their beliefs, but what I really do is to help people get free from the inside out, no matter their circumstances. The removing of beliefs is just one tool in my toolbox. And so what I really do, and we hear this a lot, is remove or release, together with my clients. I help them release their mental programming that causes things that they don't want to experience. And a lot of people, they're like, yeah, but you know, what's all that mental programming about, and is it really a thing? And I think a very simple way to kind of let people know what mental programming is and why belief works helps is a simple example. A lot of people, they once upon a time believed that the earth was flat, because when you just look, it looks flat, right? Because we didn't know that there was like a perspective thing going on. And if you see something round from very close distance, like the earth, like we do with the earth, it looks flat. So that was like an optical illusion. And the moment where we realized that we could see videos from outside and that the world was actually round, it was proved to us that it was flat, and then it was kind of impossible to us going back to believe the earth was flat for most of us. And then there is also a different example. A lot of people, when we were young, we were told about Santa Claus. So we had this idea about how he behaved, how he looked. We actually thought he existed. It made us think certain ways. It made us feel certain emotions, maybe joy during the holidays. And also it made us maybe write a letter to the Santa Claus, or make us behave better during the Christmas time because we wanted presents. So when then we get older, usually we figure out that it was actually just maybe our dad or another family member who was dressed up with a fake white beard and, you know, a red outfit or green or whatever it was, and that Santa Claus was just an illusion. And the moment where we realize that, we tend to never go back to believing in Santa Claus again. And that is some very specific examples of getting a belief, believing in Santa Claus, believing that Earth is flat, from information, from watching, from hearing other people's opinions, from hearing stories, and then at some point getting that myth busted and then no longer believing it. It's like we don't have to remind ourselves, oh, I know it feels true, but remember the Earth is round, or Santa Claus doesn't exist. It's just like a fact. Another more simple way to give an example of programming is, for example, let's say, if we take Christmas, or if we think in terms of colors, for example, Christmas or Easter. If I say Easter, what colors do you automatically think of? Maybe you think of yellow and purple and green. If we talk about Christmas, what colors comes to mind? Maybe red, white, green. And if I say Halloween, maybe you think instantly about a pumpkin, orange or red or black. And this, of course, has like a cultural and background you need to have in terms of thinking about those colors. But then what about thinking about failing in front of a lot of people looking at you? If you think about that for a moment, what comes up? Maybe you feel uncomfortable, maybe you feel embarrassed, maybe you feel cringe or some like awkwardness. And that feeling that comes up is also programming. And this is where it gets interesting, because we perceive that as being how it is, reality, that, oh, when I fail in front of a lot of people, I instantly feel shame, embarrassed, afraid, want to hide. But that's also just programming. And that's basically how it is with everything. So what happens is that with everything we experience, we have that from our family, the structure of it, the behavior of our parents and siblings, from watching television, series, movies, from when we were kids. We still get programmed now by what we do today. So everything we do experience is basically just something that has been programmed. And the good thing about programs is that they can be deleted or overwritten. And some of it automatically happens in time, like with the Santa Claus example, or with the flat Earth example. But a lot of our programming never gets overwritten by time. We never see a proof that it's not true. And sometimes we do, but we maybe after 60 years. So we live with something that doesn't work for us most of our lives. And a big bunch of the programming is just there until like the bitter end if we don't get rid of it. And I don't think that anyone should do something, but what I think is good is to really share this knowledge about that what you experience in terms of the feelings that automatically pops up in certain circumstances or around certain people or in certain situations, or the thoughts that just is in your mind all the time, and the things you actually do is just based on programming. So if there is things that you see is basically dysfunctional for you, if it makes you sad, if you push things away you love and like, if you struggle to get what you want, if when you get something you actually want, you push it away again, this is just because of programming, and we can basically change that programming so that it matches to the things you actually want. Because subconsciously we might know that, hey, I dream about going to Costa Rica, I dream about having a family with 3 kids, I dream about having my own business online, I dream about being healthy and waking up, going for a run every day, or whatever it is we want. Or I feel happy when I paint, I love being around people, it makes me happy to have deep, good conversations. But if we then get anxiety when we are honest or we can't open up to people, we might not be able to get those relationships we want. If we are afraid of putting ourselves out there, or if we're afraid to fail, we might not ever build the business we want. If we don't think we deserve things, then if we get some success, we will subconsciously push it away. So this programming is extremely powerful, and all it takes is to really know what's going on. Because a lot of us, we just feel powerless and lost and out of control when shit basically hits the fan and things goes wrong in our lives. But that's just because we don't know the rules and what's actually going on. The moment when we start to realize, everything that happens is something I subconsciously create, and it's possible for me to figure out exactly what it is that's causing this issue for me and release it so that it stops, then we really have everything we need. Because this means that we can release any unwanted thoughts, emotions and behaviors, and that's basically all we have in our lives. That's all we can do and experience. Because if we can decide what we want to experience in life, then we basically have it all. And so in the work I do, I help people. They come to me, they say, I have this issue, or I want to change this, or I don't know exactly what it is, but I just feel this way and I don't want it anymore. I tend to do this, or I would love to have this experience, but I haven't succeeded in doing that for X amount of time. I'm like, okay, perfect. And then I go into that specific thing and I figure out what is the programming here. And then we release it together, and then the program is gone, and then the issue is gone, and it's for good. But also I have a specific program that I think personally is the most exhilarating one. And that's where I first of all help people to get rid of all the different aspects of the life that doesn't work. But also, and this is where I think it's getting to the next level, I teach people how to do it themselves. So first I do it with them so they feel comfortable and they get the energy and confidence to know that it works and how it works. And then I teach them exactly how to do it themselves so that they will never ever lack that ability, and so that there is no emotion, behavior or kind of thoughts that could ever interrupt them again. Or if they do, so to speak, they can actually just know exactly how to find it and let it go forever. And that's like the way to give people the ultimate freedom, in what I have perceived and experienced the best way. That's exactly what I did myself. Started to get a lot of sessions and get rid of all kinds of issues in my life in all the areas of, wealth, health, relationships, spiritually, and then I just practiced doing this myself, and now I can basically solve anything if I want to and need to. And that doesn't mean that I don't sometimes just want to do work with other people or want somebody else to facilitate me, because that feels more comfortable. But if I really don't have anyone at the time to help me, or I just feel like doing it myself, I do it. And sometimes I do it while I'm in the shower, sometimes I just do it mentally before bed. I just do it sometimes, and sometimes I don't do it for weeks because I don't feel like it or need to. So it's just this amazing little tool that can release you from everything that doesn't work for you, so that you can actually get back to reality instead of being in the self-created programming in your mind. So it's a bit, sometimes I'm like, we are kind of robotic in some ways because of that mental programming, and a way to get less robotic and more authentic is basically to release all those programs that just controls us, because every time a belief or program is deleted, we get more opportunities, we get less blocks, and we see more clearly what's actually going on, which is surprisingly always way more beautiful. Because watching life through the eyes of a program is very limiting, and it's not true. So if any of this resonated with you and you're like, hold on, what are you talking about? I have a lot of questions, I need to know more, I want to figure out if I got it right, I want to figure out what you actually mean, or I want to know if this is something that could help in my specific case, you are welcome to pop any questions to me. If you just fill out the form in the description, I will basically offer you to have a chat and just basically answer any question you have about this. So thank you so much for watching. I hope I will see you soon, and I love you. Bye.